This is an exciting recipe today. This one's called To Dress Red Herrings and Greens. Thanks for joining us today. So this one's out of Shackelford's cookbook from 1767, The Modern Art of Cookery Improved. A lot of great recipes in this cookbook, and I picked this one out specifically because it talks about red herrings. And you've probably heard about red herrings before, generally in a literary sense, but red herring is a term that pops up in the 18th century. What they mean by a red herring is probably a lot like, let's say, a kippered herring, a smoked herring. The smoking and the salting that they did with herring was a very important industry in the 18th century. And so it gets used a lot in cookery, especially when you don't get fresh fish, but you want this item that was stored for a while. So salted fish can be imported and lasts a great long time. And this smoked herring is another product like this. That's why I wanted to do this particular recipe. First, let's start to prep our greens. We need a cabbage. So I've got a cabbage head here, and they just basically call for quartering it and tossing it in our water. So there's our cabbage. There we are. And let's just toss that in, and there we go. Also, it calls for sprouts. It doesn't say Brussels sprouts, but that's what it means. So we've got some sprouts here. I just cut off the bottoms of them, took off the very outside layer, but really these are basically just miniature cabbages, right? So we're gonna toss those in too. And there we are. Now let's get these guys on the boil. So I'm gonna put these on the fire. So while that's boiling, let's work on this fish a little bit. I haven't played around with this sort of fish before, so we'll see how this works. But the directions say to cut off the head, so we're gonna do that. There we are, and then skin it. Well, the skin came right off of these. I just peeled it off with my fingers. It was very easy to do. Hopefully yours will be the same way. Now these go over the fire, over a grill basically, to heat these up. We really don't have to worry about cooking them all that much, but we're warming them back up and bringing them to heat. It says maybe 4 or 5 minutes, not very long. Let's do the next step on our greens. They've boiled up. I've got them drained. So we've got our cabbage pieces, and we want to cut these, it says fine. So we're going to cut these into little strips here now that they're boiled. And we're going to put them straight into a large frying pan over here. And I've already got a little butter going on. We're also going to add our Brussels sprouts straight into this pan, but we don't want to break those up. I want to leave those in nice whole pieces. Now we can put these over a medium fire. This looks magnificent. It would be beautiful on the table, and you can see why they put it together like this. Really, a lot of the look of this has to do with what size of herring that you're looking for, which kind of fish you're putting on here. The recipe also says that you can break it up into little bits and mix it in with your cabbage. But if you want it to look interesting, then you want a whole fish that you can fit in here. And you can imagine maybe a big version of this with a whole fish or several fish around the outside of it. That would be beautiful. Let's find out what it tastes like. The sauce that's supposed to come with this is just melted butter, so you can put a little melted butter right on the top there if you want. I've already got some on here, so let's find out just how this turned out with the cabbage and the herring. Wow. Excellent. Excellent flavors. You've got this wonderful smoked fish flavor, you know, kind of salty and smoky, and it's got its own, you know, taste and flavor that comes with it. And of course, sort of warming it up over a wood fire, you've got all those extra flavors coming in there with it. Then we've got our greens. You can see this, you know, this would be great for a springtime or even late winter kind of dish where cabbages are still good from the fall before, and Brussels sprouts stay really good all along the winter, depending on how you keep them. So this would be one of those dishes that you would find in January or February that you could still do it, and great flavors. You can't go wrong taking this the cabbage and then, you know, sautéing it in butter with the salt and pepper. Just really, really good. Definitely give this one a try. You're gonna love it. And if you're interested in other fish recipes, then make sure to check out this fish pie episode.